So do I believe that right now is the best time in human existence? Yes, I do.
I guess so. No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But again, at the same time, no.
To a certain degree.
No, sir.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. I want to say yes.
Yes.
Yes and no.
No.
Yes.
I'm not really sure if right now is the best time in history or not, because things are a lot better maybe for the human race, but not all of the other species.
I believe that this is the most peaceful time in humanity as of right now.
We're lacking structurally, manufacturally, a lot of different issues.
Things are very easy and just it's a great place to live.
We have more freedom now, freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
If you're looking at social matters, anything before now was kind of honestly shitty.
Everybody's so willing to change, and we have a black president.
We have let technology drive our lives so much now, so I think we need to kind of sway away from that a little bit.
How far we've come now is it's a big advancement.
We live in a nice place, but I think there's just too much consumption and greed.
It's the best time for me and Americans.
It's great and it's perfect right now, and I'm very grateful for everything that's going on right now.
I know in this country specifically, we're the most tolerant and open-minded than we've been in the past. More people are being accepted, more people are having rights that they didn't have in the past.
We only know by in the books, by the history, but that's related to the one who live over there.
The here and now is the best time.
The wildlife, the rivers, the sky, I say it's different.
Not that much war is going on.
The medical advances and scientific advances that we have been able to make until now.
Had outright, downright racism, and it's still here. It's still terrible. It's just not as bad as it was. Same as sexism.
Humanity sort of has a habit of having a hierarchy, and I think that doesn't really change.
Now I feel like it's more violent.
Freedom of to bear arms, like all our amendment rights is coming to play now.
Even though we're making a lot of progressions, we're also making a lot of digressions.
We have the thing with Donald Trump, all his racist things, like him talking about deporting Mexicans.
We have crazy movements that are going on to show how passionate people are about life, and all these movements are just examples of how far from 1776 to now we've come, how much we've changed in society.
We're failing economically. We're divided as a nation in a lot of ways. Race, religion, sexuality.
Technological advances, the way we know what we have now, it just makes things so easy.
It's a great time to exist.
I don't have nothing to compare to know if in the past it was better than now.
People's apathy for the planet have definitely not improved.
Back in the 18, the 19, and the 1600s, it was straight war, straight killing. It wasn't nowhere we see. Yeah, all across all that, a lot of crazy stuff.
We also have more information and connectedness with people around the world, and I think that helps us with accepting each other as humans.
People bombing places all over the place. I think it makes it kind of like a crappy place to live.
Despite all the world wars that were going on and the mass human killings, it's pretty slow compared to other times in humanity's history.
I think it's the best time as a woman to be living in this world.
The Caesars of Rome and the Pharaohs of Egypt were unable to do what we do, which is adjust the ambient temperature of our homes to within a half a degree.
We have stuff like racism, I think that's recycling back in the world.
Outside of where I live, my little bubble, and I wouldn't say necessarily that it's the best time for humanity. It seems like there's just a lot of violence and war and scary things going on in the world.
Half of the time you can't even go somewhere or certain places without worrying about being shot at.
You see interracial couples more so now in social media and television, on movies, than you ever did before.
All the advancement is just disgusting. It'd be better if it was just all nature.
It's not really an equivalent thing, but back in the past, if somebody were to do something wrong, they would get stoned, whereas now if somebody were to do something bad, they would get completely trashed on social media.
When you listen to music, you vibe to it, and people get so into their feelings listening to it that they're like, yeah, shoot up the school, yeah, or shoot that person, yeah.
Now is the time where we start seeing that people are important. It's not all about about groups of people. It's about individuality.
I think that people are more accepting and you sort of have more freedom than you did in the past.
Got a lot of black on black crime and a lot of police brutality that's going on right now.
Hundreds of years ago, it was really difficult for women to live in society. You know, we had different roles. Now we could be anything that we want to.
People are getting older, so you have to pay more taxes for, you know, the old people to stay healthy.
If you analyze the footprint that human beings have left on this world since the beginning of time, we can only imagine the mass effects that are going to be had in years to come. So how can we take advantage of a world that's not exactly put together or as complete as it was in the very beginning?
Technology allows the ordinary person to have a level of bodily comfort and a length of life that was utterly impossible to anyone in prior ages, no matter who they were, no matter how much money they had.
Back, you know, when like the American dream and things like that, everybody was sort of put in like this little frame where they have to follow a certain lifestyle, they have to do a certain thing, where now you're sort of free to do whatever you want.
I can go down the street and get a huge order of sushi just plopped right down in front of me and get food drunk.
We always have room to grow as people in our opinions and how we look at things and how we treat one another.
A lot of things are still coming towards me, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get better from here.
To have hot and cold water on demand, to have ice anytime we want it, which in prior ages was reserved for the wealthiest people who could afford to have it brought down from the tops of mountains, transported in straw.
People mature, and I think that the world matures, and I think that it probably will only get better as it goes on.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, purple, or orange. You all need to come together and just make it work.
We still have a ways to go, but with everything that's happened so far, it's the best time.
We're alive, and we should just be happy for that reason.
As far as Americans concerned, maybe my life, I think that we've got it pretty good, and I mean, I'm just proud to say I'm American.
It's not perfect, but it's definitely been worse, and that's what makes me want to say, yeah, that things are definitely the best they've been, and they're only going to get better, hopefully, fingers crossed.
I believe that right here, right now, this very present moment is the best time ever in human existence. I'm going to tell you why. For 3 different reasons. I believe that the way we're treating this world, the environment around us, is not sustainable. I am not a scientist, however, based on scientific evidence, more so agree with me than disagree with me. And the fact that we know this means we can overcome this. Technological advances are not just limited to the Facebook feed on your phone, but rather understanding this thing, the world, the earth. There are people that live all around it, with different interests, different values, different religions, different languages. But the fact that we have this technology, we can now see, we are now connected throughout this whole world. And we have medical advances, so we live better lives, longer lives. So technology is such an important feature of life, why it's so much better now. And number 3 is my never-ending positive outlook on life. And I think this is actually the reason why we have this technological development, this understanding of the world. Because if you see the world in a positive light, you're always looking for the good things and you're doing things you actually care about, you will always find good things around you and you will always be able to make the world a better place. So this is the best place ever.
It's an interesting time and a great time to be alive right now.